fifth graders. Today we are going to start a brand new topic, and it is all about the coordinate system. All right, so in order to begin this topic, we do need to go over some vocabulary words. Okay, so the coordinate system is basically a grid, and you can plot points on it. And you can also use it to find directions, and to find your way, and to kind of keep yourself organized. So basically the coordinate system consists of an x-axis and a y-axis. So the x-axis is always the horizontal line right here. That is always the x-axis. So we'll label it x-axis. All right. And the y-axis, you guessed it, is always the vertical line. So we'll label that the y-axis. Okay. And on the x and the y-axis, we have numbers. And we can use those numbers in the form of an ordered pair to find certain things and to place certain things in different spots on this coordinate grid. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to label these for numbers. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll do the same thing for the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10's up there. All right. So make sure I labeled the lines. I'm not labeling the spaces in between. Okay. So now this is our coordinate grid. X-axis is horizontal. Y-axis is vertical. All right. And we also have things called ordered pairs. Ordered pairs consist of an x coordinate and a y coordinate. So for example, the ordered pair 4, 5, and this is how we write an ordered pair. We have parentheses, x coordinate, comma, y coordinate, and parentheses. This is how we write an ordered pair. All right. So whatever number is first in your ordered pair, whether it be a 4, whether it be a 0, it can be a 13.5. Okay. That first number always stands for the x-axis. So we would call this an x coordinate. All right. And the second number, no matter what it is, it could be a 5, it could be a 0, it could be a negative, and we'll talk about that next year, okay? This 5, or this second number, always stands for the y-axis, and we call it a y coordinate, all right? So we can use this ordered pair, and we can plot it on this graph, all right? So what we do is we first always start at this spot right here where my marker is, and that is called the origin. Basically, the origin is where you start if you're plotting things, where you start if you're trying to find what the coordinates are. We always start there, and that is 0, 0. So the ordered pair, instead of 4, 5, for the origin is 0, 0, because it's where the x and the y-axis intersect at 0, 0. Okay, so now if the 4 is the x coordinate, do you think we're going to go 4 places up or 4 places over? Well, since it's the x coordinate, it's first, we go 4 places over on the x axis. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't put your dot there yet because we only did halfway. Now we have to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the y coordinate, or y-axis, and that is where our dot is. So we can plot ordered pairs on a coordinate grid, but we can also find the ordered pair for certain numbers. So let's do that because that's what we're going to be doing today. All right. Oh, I don't want to erase those too much. All right. So I'm going to put a bunch of dots on this coordinate grid. We'll put a dot here. We'll put a dot there. We'll put a dot, there. Put it here. And we'll put it there. And I'm going to label these dots with letters. So this will be A, B, C, D, E, and we'll do one more. We'll go right here. We'll call that F. Okay, so let's start with A. We're trying to figure out what the ordered pair is for A. Basically, what is the X and the Y axis that go with, or X coordinate and Y coordinate that go with A. So let's write it over here. A equals, okay. So in order to figure this out, are we going to look first at the y-axis or are we going to first look at the x-axis? Do you remember what comes first in an ordered pair? Does the x come first or does the y come first? Well, just like the alphabet, the x always comes before the y. If that helps you remember, x comes before y in the alphabet, x comes before y in ordered pairs. So we're going to look at the x-axis first, this line, this horizontal line down here. So let's look at A. If you even want to like draw a line, what x coordinate does A hit? The 3. So the first ordered pair or the first coordinate of A would be 3, comma. And now we look at the y. Where does that hit? Well, it hits 8. So it would be 3, comma 8. And that is the ordered pair for A. Again, we use the x-axis first, and then we used the y. Now, you can draw lines like this if you want, because we're learning still, so that's okay. All right, let's look at B. B, if we were to draw a line, again, we're doing the x-axis first. Where would B hit on the x-axis? It would hit the 1. So for B, our first coordinate is 1 for the x. And then where would it hit on the y-axis? 4. So our ordered pair for B is 1, comma 4. Hopefully we're kind of seeing a pattern. Let's look at C. What is, without even drawing any lines, what is the x-axis or the x-coordinate for C? How many times from the origin does it go over? It goes over 5 times. So for C, our x-coordinate would be 5. Starting at the origin again, how many times does it go up until you hit where C is? 2 times. So 5 over 5 up to, that would give you C. Let's look at D. D is a little interesting, okay? So if we have our ordered pair set up, D, okay? We start at the origin, and we go over how many on the x-axis? We go over 8. So our x-coordinate is 8. Remember, x is always first in all of these problems, okay? Now we have to figure out what our y-coordinate is. How many times does D go up on the y-axis? It doesn't go up at all. It's at 0. So for our y-coordinate, it wouldn't be 1, 2, 3, or anything like that. It would just be 0. Over 8, up, nothing. Make sure you have that parenthesis again. E, let's look at E. How many on the x-axis, what would be the x-coordinate for E? It would be 10. You go over 10. What would be the y-axis for E? You go over 10 and then you go up how much to get to E? You go up 7. So the order pair for E is 10, 7. And lastly, let's look at F. Okay, it's kind of thrown in there right here. Okay, so again, we start at the origin. Do we go over at all on the x-axis for F? We don't go over at all. Okay, we don't go to 1, 2. F stays at 0. So that means for the y coordinate of f, we have 0, okay? And then we just go up 6, and that's our y-axis. All right, so what you guys are going to be doing right now, you're going to be completing a Google form, and you're going to be given a bunch of ordered pairs on a coordinate grid. And I'm going to ask you questions such as, what is the ordered pair for A? What is the ordered pair for C? And you're going to just have to type in what the ordered pair is. All right, so remember, make sure when you're doing this, the x coordinate on the horizontal always comes before the y. Okay, you always go over before you go up. All right, and make sure when you're plugging it in, you have parentheses and then a comma in between both of your numbers. All right, okay. Hope this lesson made sense. You might have even learned it a little bit in 4th grade, I think. All right, so have a good day.